Hey guys, welcome back to another video over here on the Chinese Zodiac and horoscopes. Today we're going to be doing a reading for all you guys born in the year of the horse. How are you guys doing? Let's find out. We're just going to give these a quick shuffle up and then we're going to pull out three and we'll see how things are going for you guys. Let's just give them a bit of a mix around and we will stop there. I think we'll take that one from the bottom, we'll take that one from the middle, we'll take that one from the top. What have we got? Oh, three blacks. Now black isn't always an attack, but when you see three like this, it's kind of like, oh, things could definitely be better for you guys at the moment. Honestly, never mind, we'll flip them over and see what the compatibility is like. Straight away we've got a catalyst card, we've got that sheep, that goat card coming in there. That is a significant card of change, but unlike the pig and the rabbit, who are also in that affinity triangle for catalysts, the goat is the most forceful one. That's coming in ramming its way through, so it's negative as well. So we've got a bit of change that's probably going to make you uncomfortable, though it may not actually affect you. It's just something that's forcefully pushed its way into your sort of space and into your environment at the moment. And right now you feel like potentially like it's all on top of you. Everything's weighing you down. There's a lack of direction, a lack of confidence. There's this whole, I don't know, doubting your own talent, or basically, I suppose it's like if you were a painter and decorator, somebody's come in and said, right, we're not painting anymore. We've changed our ideas. We're using wallpaper. And you've just put all the effort into to put up that new fresh coat of paint. And now they want it wallpapered, but you're not a confident wallpaperer. So this change of plan has made things difficult. It's made things, I don't know, it's got a lack of direction for you, basically. I think really this is going to frustrate you. This is going to give you cause for complaint. This is going to give you, and I'm not necessarily saying this is directed exactly at those that are in the decorating trade. I am saying that there is something that you are good at, something that you've done, something that you've been a part of, something has changed, something has been, you know, pushing you in a different direction. And as much as you don't like it, as much as you are trying to fight it, as much as you were trying to go against it, it's still pushing you and moving you. It's a challenge, but it's not necessarily like a massive one that's going to cause massive issues. I find this is temporary, and I think that you can get back up on your feet. I think really it's a time for you to take leadership and control. It's a time for you to say, hang on a minute, this is my job, this is me, I'm able to do this, I'm capable. I am capable. I'm more than capable. And once you stand up for yourself and actually say, look, I'm not playing this game of I'm changing or swapping or mixing things up a bit, and saying that you're going to stick with the way that you're going to do it, as rigid as that is, and the lack of flexibility, I think really it's going to be admirable of you to actually stand up for yourself and say, no, I don't care what changes you want to make. Of course, these changes are probably going to happen through you or through somebody else anyway, but you do have that power to stand up and say, no, I'm not having it. I don't want to be a part of that. Oh, and then we got the pig coming in, and that's another catalyst card. If you want to know about the catalyst cards and more about those catalyst, the catalyst affinity triangle, then do hit the subscribe button, because we are going to be doing a video on that in the future. But that boar is a very slow catalyst. It's something that's going to happen over time. As I say, you don't necessarily have to be the one that makes the change. It doesn't necessarily have to be through you, but the change is coming, and you can fight it and you can push up against it. The goat and the pig, neither are incompatible with the horse, so they're not exactly massively bad. It's more the fact that they are in that negative space, and that negative space is slowing you down. I think really that's what's happening here, is that you've now had to reevaluate, rethink. The job's changed or the circumstances changed. Something's happened where the changes have kind of taken you back a bit, taken you by surprise. They've hit your confidence, as I say. But don't worry. I think there is going to be a moderate successful outcome for you of this, because that catalyst is not there to be a warning for you, and even if it was, you're quick enough to move out the way. You're a horse, you'll see this coming, you'll predict this, you probably did. It's probably something that you've gone, oh, I knew this would happen. I knew this would happen. And potentially that's what you've said to yourself a couple of times over the last few weeks is, oh, I bloody knew it. I knew this would happen. I knew this is what was going to come out of this if I did this or if this stayed the way that it did. And maybe, just maybe, that's why the changes are being instigated. Because you saw it coming and you didn't stand up for yourself or you didn't make a stand back then. Don't forget, horse people, that you are a big lover of your own freedom in your own lack of restraint. And if somebody puts restraints on you, then it's going to make you feel as if, I don't want to say powerless, I just more want to say like I say, incapable. And I don't mean to say incapable in a way where I'm trying to insult anybody or cause any offense. I just mean that's a feeling that you have. You could be more than capable. You could be more than capable of doing this, but that lack of confidence, the changes, the things that are going around, happening around you. This is kind of like that's the thing that's throwing you off. That's the thing that's making things more difficult for you. That's the thing that's kind of making you not incapable. It's just you're not feeling confident enough to be capable. So you need to find that confidence through these changes and stick to your own. Ooh, that snake card jumping in is probably the most incompatible out of the three there. And it's not a catalyst card, but it is a karmic card. So everything you're going through right now is negative and in that black place for a reason. Remember, black is just the opposite of white when it comes to the balance of yin and yang, positive, negative, masculine, feminine. This is a very feminine energy right here. This is all not necessarily negative, but it's definitely a feminine energy that's coming through. And that snake is a negative karmic card. It is that negative side of the yin and yang, and it is delivering karmic justice universally, whether it's to you or to people around you through you, or for whatever reason it's showing its face right now. So these changes and this karmic debt, these are happening around you. So no wonder you feel like you're in a whirlwind and you feel like everything's changing and everything's up in the air right now. And it will be up in the air right now. And you're not going to be able to, as I say, keep up too much because you're used to running so fast. You're not used to having restraints. The problem with the snake and the horse, though, is that they do have this issue where they try to compare each other on their intuition. They try to outdo each other on their own pride or vanity. They try to compete, but they can't compete because they play two different games. They're dancing to a different song. They are what you would call each other's worst enemy, because they could get on absolutely fine. You could get on, this is what this is saying to you now. You could get on absolutely fine without having to acknowledge any of this. Just keep on plodding along and just put your blinkers down and be ignorant to it and naive to it. But you can't do that. You can't do that, can you? Because that snake is drawing you out into a defensive place where you feel like you need to justify things. You need to start looking more into yourself here as well. This is a selfish card. The snake is a very selfish sign. They're very selfish, they're very vain, and they know what they want and they know what they like. And I think that's where you're at right now, where you're somewhere that you don't want to be. You feel like you're putting on a facade, or you've got this mask on that is not you. And horses aren't like that. See, a snake will change their skin to suit their environment. They're like chameleons. And if they don't like something, they'll slither away very slyly and won't even go noticed. They like to remain like that in a kind of secretive kind of way. That's a very snaky attitude for snaky people. Not all of them, but the snake personality is renowned for that. The horse is not. You're very outspoken. You're very kind of like, this is not what I do. I'm not putting a mask on. I'm not changing my skin. I'm not acting. I'm not playing. I'm not going to be the court jester. And you're not going to be able to force that out of me. But, my lovely pony people, my horses, you might need to. You might need to put on a smile. You might need to pretend like you're more confident than you are. You might need to pretend you know what you're doing until you actually get it. The term fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it. That is what's probably going to serve you a little bit more than not doing anything. I mean, if you don't want to do anything, like I said, you'd be absolutely fine. You could just plod along and nothing would change and everything would be okay and you would get on fine. And that karmic justice and that catalyst is going to happen regardless. but you could go unaffected. The only thing that's going to make you affected is if you make a big deal out of it. It will affect you if you make a big deal out of it. And that's why I think faking it till you make it is probably a better way of doing it. Or just keep your mouth shut. Don't say anything. Don't say you're struggling. Don't say that it's hard. Don't say that, you know, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily advise that. It's always good to express yourself, and it's always good to you know, talk about how things are bothering you or what you feel, or, you know, that sort of side of things. But if it's only going to slow you down, if it's only going to make matters worse, if it's only going to complicate things, is it worth it? It's definitely more an ox thing to kind of keep your mouth shut and plod on regardless. It's definitely more that kind of, I'm going to shut up and get on with it. And that attitude horses don't necessarily have. They'll get on with it, but they won't shut up about it. And you shouldn't. And I don't mean that you rabbit in on or you say things that aren't warranted either. I say you would make very, very good points. But is it only going to complicate the situation further? That's the question that you need to ask yourself. And we'll find out next week, won't we? When we come back and we have a look at the horse people next Thursday, when we come back and do another reading for you guys. I will be back later on this afternoon, this evening time, with a reading for all you people born in the goat or sheep year. So hit that subscribe button. I will see you then. If I don't, then I'll see you next week when we do another reading for you guys, the horse people. Until then, thanks for watching, guys. Love and peace.